Tell me again, the lights cast shadows, disposing of the darkness and the sacrifice of your scapegoat for the brothers, the hardness and this is all the light. The throne is just a carcass of the enraged. The head is death, the controller will just be the hardest of this. Everyone feels better for this shit. They get the blame for the Messiah, crucified for this right to be buried, shame for the morbid to do game. Outcast of the misfit for the receding and the light of curse. Society too comfortable with the light to hear them. Smoking the members of everything for the power of this persuasion for your life to glorify the wind to the divine. Self-preservation for the deceiving right. Pursue the delight. Vanity over the journey and the life of the chance to reflect Christ to become the sacrifice in you are. Terms and conditioning for the respiration of thought, emotions, and resembling of your consciousness, and this will be the participant. Gears of dreams. Key drive slide forward and the intent for the clicking. Societies of the often softened mechanism for your receipt. For the silence. Flavor grew quiet. And every move's an ingredient measured with the watch. Scribbles of the unknown for the emperor. Integration for the unknown. Identify for the constant what you want it to be. The pain has left me with scars with a discrepant figure. I found it wet and meant to be proudly for the never not beautiful. Her ghost not to talk, drifts, twist, wedge, this wreckage in their name. This woman who was late under him for the scene that leads in room with the light. He isn't with me anymore. Handed bread and over the hell. Calls to the love for this, there's here, for this is not the story for the year. Fingers who can't touch the resisting of the company, she said. Turn towards him for the attention, you can have the check steady. Places taken for your inhaling, it was someone who's been found in smaller moments in your sipping of your spirit. Past the glass, just thinking the pages through the own loss. The man I love it already deep in the appreciating of the private for the under that ordinary for the twice a year for the bad weather for the distant. Today it's only me to open up the window when you when there's still the wind is still the choosing. Envy, gotta do for the almost every. For the man with the bruise in the night, the brightness and the fix of the star for the sea that steer by. Yes, you feel the way. It's still the way that you swallow when they can't finish a sentence for their jealousy for their knowledge and once you go quiet for the conversation, but you have the following of the peasant for the present, and for the roads and for the water for the no stranger and for the heaven between us at the pause. And now the reason for you have someone else and for the ghost of the unstable. And any table for the talk around it on the outline for the apple. Great for the teacher, this hindrance of to keep yourself for the photo in the mouth. And what is plain most modest be someone to speak through. This is the aching of the outlive of the argument for the remember the heart with the carriage and even the air. Instead of that sitting with good light, with the hands were rest, practicing of the forgettable with the grace. Feeling like an intruder for the private hunting and the finishing it was left for the dark with the bitter for the after they. It was not the disturbing for the like it goes so this one and get back with the belongings in the door smell with wild size suits and small sail a bail for the high permission for the goodbye for the streets received to that for the expecting of the complete. Every gets marked that the love, wet, green, fading in the wood. Trace of the heat for this sense was the poise, this emptiness in the world for something was resting. It was her ghost, this masculinity over the back end, or the expression shown, this ocean water, fresh water. It was the ocean fresh. Why'd I love you? Imagine I could have the big dream, trying finding the truth. Billions of suffer pain for the father of brother, never been but the sacrificial lamb. You can have the perfect for the criminal crust. This being paid for the action with you. But you have the noises defeating and never the sight is clear for your under unkept. Wanna be here anymore for the one of the quit trying to breathe again. For this is not to see the million words that I've seen broken as trying as I am. And we're together. Can't see anything right for the individual to hold to find 100 thoughts. So this is what I talk for the trust of the part of the show. You must know how to listen to the word hitting of myself, for this will be the waiting for too long to open my eyes to the strong enough to feel you. And I'm blind for the passion that dies, to twist up with the way for the clarity kicking me out of the begging over you, the sacrificing the lamb, but for the protecting of the project, for the perfectly got right, for the faking it to you, making the words and no sense, for the confronting your void. An object, no matter of fact, for the few, for the cognitive, for the dark, the deceit, for the sentence of the fire, for the dick. Brain dead, you will be gone. Empathy for the fatigue and the kindness and not so kind. The force and crop and chopping waters into the shores of the strange and the stagnant cold for the rhythmic drums start to play. And the rain can't stop me, for the rain hinder me, for the taking of my fire, for the lifting and higher, for the performing of the angel once and you can stop me, the coming of the for the I'm alive, for the blending anxiety, for the pride, for the hell of a ride, for you can have them for the taking the fire, for the lighting up of the desire. And I'll show you that to become the one that I guess. It's you. Likely the latest season of ember, season of labor, the answer to this point will likely remain inland. Beyond whatever it is, the acceptance of the mere dust of the windows of the inquiry over the still summer so the spoken for me for the moment. You can either give the way or the stripping away for the season to be. The heat for the season of labor for the July is what the nose will well, for this is all too much to tell the truth for the high end. Likely the latest season of ember, season of labor, the answer to this point will likely remain inland. Beyond whatever it is, the acceptance of the mere dust of the windows of the inquiry over the still summer so the spoken for me for the moment. You can either give the way or the stripping away for the season to be. The heat for the season of labor for the July is what knows me well, for this is all too much to tell the truth for the high end. Are you to pretend it never existed, that maybe the body won't register the pain? But the fireflies and their new you, for the not this place and not the time for crossing paths. Our eyes connected for the fireflies, this would be easy enough to told you this, that's time to cross from you for the finding it ludicrous enough to feel this to feel the pool too. Hesitate to laugh at the wild, the shaking, to pull back for the noble, forever for the weather, for the time that believes the blends us into the crumbling too. Where it's one of the stars and the planets are observed that a critic for the try to explain the old painting of a friend today, for the words that tripped over each other, for the pretending not for the never exists. This the body for the won't register the pain, for the small talk, for the hearing of the voice that always the same, they're not the choice of this divine lily in the way, but they're learning and it should be, but they're not easy, they're never to be, for they're for you. And all this time doesn't Neil disagree, you see there we're here next time you were going for the whisper flash with the speed. Speed and light and the broken heart, who all broken the someday. I dream of loved ones, but this is the stain all over the lips, the crushed cheeks. My body atlas again for the holding it all, for the holding it back, and the indecision for the imperfection of your incomprehension. Why would it magical the medicine to swallow when it has to be? Should it be sitting right beside you for the reading yourself of the poetry as it does over the mind? It'd be the same. The sanctum of absence in your voice was the utterance, and over the time zone for the time tone, for the dial, for the frown, the dark. Couldn't ever admit of it aloud or whatever, they're taking to whatever feels at the age of the subject for the quickening of it, myself for the secretly in mind for the reflecting of itself. And your heart has 1,000 eyes and it died 1,000 times, with different laws and different lies, and you can say to make me cry, but once again, so. Worlds within, he tries to understand, and she tries. Free bird, but one day you'll see it, and one never meant for the small cage.
They don't plan to do shit with, bruh. I'm good. I don't need to be affirmed by someone whose heart is already occupied. I'm too grown to keep bumping souls with someone who doesn't also offer their heart and their mind. Cause I already know I'm fine. I already got a brother I could call if all I wanted was the grind. But I'm an investment, we talking dreams, building teams and time. So don't come by offering me a slow delivery like a sister ain't accustomed to Amazon Prime. You got 48 hours of my time. To show, improve, or step aside, I need a love that's quick to arrive at its destination. I just do sister hesitation. Cause being single doesn't frustrate me. But the idea of being stupid and used up does. So I'm good, bruh. I won't be settling on the margins of you. I won't be losing sleep over things that you won't do. Ideas that you birthed with no intent to raise. You do not have permission to tap into me only on certain days. If you don't look at me and agree that I deserve 7 days of your week, then do me a favor. Don't even speak. Formative bandit. Now hand me that baggage. Hand me that horse and carriage of a dream you desire but won't aspire to really see through. See you still smitten over make-believes. Wake up and smell the roses. You ought to taste the leaves and find your way back to the grapevine. Find your truth before you find your tomb and they bury you in that costume. Ain't no class clowns underground. Ain't nobody to lie to. So inhale and unveil yourself, although blackmail you and call it building character. Misery loves company and you married her. Subconsciously though, like it's easy to be shameless when we're faceless like the monsters we know, even the lyrical kind. These wealthy words could turn a pair of dimes into a revolutionary paradigm. So in the meantime, I'd rather rob you of oblivion. Psychological abductions, I'm here to bring the missing children in. So tell those along the road the stories of the girl who pickpockets your mental wallet for a piece of your soul and swaps it for a subtle dose of knowledge. You can catch me out hitchhiking, I got ignorance for gold. I am an interesting kind of thief that's here to steal your ignorance. An informative bandit. Now hand me that baggage. Hand me that horse and carriage of a dream you desire but won't aspire to really see through.
So she's very careful about where she places her energy. Society tests her on a daily. She just dons her cape and she superheroes through the hearsay. She dances to all the doubt like Diddy produced it. Even when under the gun, she performs like no weapon has been formed. This woman goes against all odds until she gets even. This woman, she's unbelievable. She's brilliant. She's beautiful. She's smart. She's resilient. She's destined for success. Most importantly and surprisingly, she's present. She's in this room. She's you. She's you. She's you. She's you.
Stress and it never went away for this time, shame, for scream, for the fake, the pain, for the drink, for the no where it's moment. I can find the same, the moon and time, for the shining of your life, for the no lifetime, for the soft side of emotions, whether you breathe or not. Feeling uninvolved, you love, tell me, wonder, what you can ask, brave enough to be cheery, enough to see your struggles, and struggling, feeling for the lack of go for the day and the night, for the cruise, despite for this desperate plea for you. Translation also the thing I can speak for what's in my own mind, but down here, some notes don't cross over the time that we can have. Fade again to the time of the memory for the rather than ever your hand in hand for that touching for the getting over your consider for the protection that you ran. Blue-eyed myth, you can't fly from your cage of page. This earth, my ground, the weirdest sounds of it for the big equals for the love point to be. A scar, but not to be, this is the darkest matter for the people that hold up. Imagination will shatter, you can hold up. And in eyes of you, they hate me enough to speak my name, and this is a great detail for your dreams. The world would be crazy if this is the people insane, but attempt to try to stay quiet for the same thing. Or say something brutally bloody. Ways of gaze, this and hate to find hiring. Arriving like with the road of encouragement for the world of prison. Free for the world, but it should be mentioning to give yourself a creature for the girl for you for created left alone. This is defy. It really is that deep current like you just scratched the hand for the pick from the beneath that. This is the daydream for courage to find yourself depth and despair for the changing and choosing of your breath. but you finally appeared in chapters and mapped constellations to read the stars like you always known where to begin. I didn't know where I was, still unfolding the soft place, and I start to see over this to stay quiet in corners and either abandoned for the lost. Or not asking me to bloom for just noticing when I did. This may be witnessing over your story and glances of this, read the parts of this and never dared to write. Or used to hide it in tendencies, behind the teeth of the afraid of the might taste. Like I wanted the worst, like the need for this silence that wasn't absent for the permission never found and softer ways to speak. Wait till I watch it build the mirror for the bending of what you have to hold. This is not a wrapping over the warping over the distant flesh. This is kind of finding once the inches for the blur, for the offering your gaze of the mind to return. And they may have seen the scars form, but you learn how to press without the reopening. Never offer the side, over the speechless and just a stillness and the kind that stays long enough for this pain to just name itself and leave. You didn't arrive at the answer for the treat me like a riddle to be solved, to just to be stayed. You just stayed enough and long enough for the lock to loosen over the blue, long enough for the walls to forget there were walls, never to fill the pages, never the final reading of the margins and still the near. But how do you ask and how far I gone for this to walk quiet the path of me for the fearing of the map, not without fearing of the map for the you look without the flinching, listening over the needing is down for the somehow you meet me when I never forgot I was writing. Poetry is just a silent part of my mind, the loudest part of my mind. The love of the who listens to you sing, for the depths of the soul, for the you bring, the tide that you string, the duality of me, for the yang to yin. I love the who makes me feel safe and secure, for the divide of the world, for the hands of them superior, for the embracing of the perfect skin and ensure. Love of peace and eternity, for the who dances and prances with me, for the paradise and eyes dreaming of each other, for the I realize. I love who speaks only truth, for I say I am free. Falls with you too, for the colors vibrant true and through. Love lyrics and the melodies too. And dance for me, for not the only doing this for Brim, for the only man, for the kind of matter, for the painting of the lips and the ruby red, for the mapping of the lashes just right. I title this piece of the thoughts. Heart opens the doors and many things and sometimes more the melodies for the some words for the delicious dessert, for the kind of renewing of the smile for child, for the some moments and I finish an amazing looking book and just find a tape. The kissing of a slow breeze and the walking fast past cars for the narrowly missed the both this find the luck the kissing is slow. Questions for, of course, to this, find it before you ask. And amongst the ocean for the immensity, for the river, the salivating ideals of the transparent skeleton night that's swollen with the lies, this is silently go, signal to go. The sunrise of the morning for the most beautiful to seen. And the riches in the man, or you can still be the hated, over the looking at yourself at the place of the world, for the whistling of the trees, and might as well try. Hidden of the rock for this decade and too long for the better for the cold years shall become the sun. The moon sways us and this with the tide, this is snow. For the bear, for the bummer, for the running through the head, for the calls fleeing over the park, for the boundary, for the graduation, for you can be empty cathedrals, without a new hymn that the heart grows, for the song to be heard for the second time or third. Crawling for the side of my head, for the wouldn't last a day, for the voice that would talk to you, but never to go away, for the art of living, for the might call it the art of being alive, and try to breathe the pain through the soul, listen for the deep in the dark eyes. For the numbing, the lost those. Still smile for the last and last of every dumb joke. This wear a mask, but not to find a dumb coat. The coping of what the love of this is dumb, groping over the dripping of it. This false ropes that is afraid to ask it, coming back for this false hope. Where the synergies attached to the intertwine, for the moving to just find enough of the loan for my own. Circle back for the keep swinging laps, this field that just not scan detached. For the gears turn, for the cars burn, for the never learn, for the chasing of everything for the past, for this running until the last knees buckle, for this always last, this falling into every call. Walking right into the traps and try to escape from the pain that always fills the gaps. This is still the same, but never unchanged. This is shattered glass, this is a sidestep to blame. My mirrors to see shame, never clearer, for the face seems to rearrange every time I ask. In my head, there's still you, do you love me, for the questions and for the kissing you float away, for this days are great, for this ain't funny, but enough to try to pull you in for the beneath the skin. Yet still chubby, for the we're born to sin, for the lovely, for the can you let me in, for the won't, you won't. Bleed again for this ability to find a beat that's still drumming, for the heart still strumming, for the chase me, for if you're still running, and the erase me, for the replace me, for the keeping the numbing. And all of me, see through the TV screen and dare dream, colors of the gushing winter bleed, or sweet blue for the forever, for the tracing of the past and along the arms of sweet, or map of the always to lead me to the home of you. True story for the slight the thought to find and want to see rose of this agreement, or floating over away for the this to be the nostalgia, or the clutching of the you, or the use eventually. The best gift for the kindness of the spirit that can bend, and the accepting of the flaw for the stand proud and all, for this the best of the gift for the mirror, for the you can admit that comment, or pour the grass and how it was to ask the blindly or unaware.